Hey friends, welcome to your reading all about the topic, You Are Meant to Be Wealthy. This is why you've always felt different. This reading is for the souls who have always felt different, like you never fit into the mold, like you were destined for something greater. This reading will help you explore the reason that you were born to be wealthy and how your uniqueness is actually your power. Now, if you are new to pick a card readings, here's how it works. The first thing that you're going to do here is you are going to pick the pile or the crystal that you are the most intuitively drawn to. So we have pile 1 here with the green calcite. We have pile 2 here with the pyrite. We have pile 3 here with malachite. And then we have pile 4 here with the thunderstorm crystal. I'm not sure what this is. For anyone who knows what type of crystal this is, let me know in the comments. It was a gift. You can choose one pile, you can choose more than one pile, or you can choose all of them. It is totally up to you, but when you're ready, go to the description of this video and find the timestamp that is linked to your pile. Then you can skip ahead to your reading. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I will see you on the other side. Hey pile 1, hey friends, welcome to your reading. Let's dive into why you were born to be wealthy. Let's talk about why you were born with this unique relationship to money. We have the 5 of stones in reverse here. This is the 5 of pentacles reversed. This can talk about recovery. It can talk about reemergence from things like hardship. It can also talk about rewriting your story, especially stories around lack. Maybe some of you here were born into or experience environments of financial struggle or scarcity or emotional abandonment. Maybe like there's some sort of family dynamic where money was a source of anxiety or shame. And so with this card in reverse, I feel so strongly that you were born to break that cycle, pile 1. So why you felt different? I feel like you never fully bought into the story of like not enough. Like even in the hardest times, I feel like you've had these inner whispers telling you that abundance was possible for you and for others, right? So maybe you're somebody who may have seen others struggle and known in your bones that something was deeply off. Maybe some of you here might have been that child in the family that clipped coupons, but you daydreamed of designing luxurious homes or owning land one day. I think that while other people settled, you always felt that there was something more for you, right? And I feel like you felt that you were somehow supposed to access it in some way, right? And so I feel like this mindset made you different, and not in like a snobby way, but because you intuitively sense that lack wasn't your true inheritance, is what I'm hearing. So pile 1, you're not meant to adapt to the stories that other people tell you about scarcity. You're here to heal it, both for yourself and for other people. We also have the falling moon here. This one says release blocks. So I wonder if this represents like some sort of emotional unraveling before a breakthrough. I think that many of you here are in a phase of like purging subconscious patterns that have kept you small, right? Like the moon releasing light. I feel like you're shedding illusions around money. Maybe some of you here are letting go of guilt around receiving, or maybe some of you here are, releasing the need to overgive to feel worthy. Or maybe some of you here are, questioning beliefs like money makes people corrupt or all rich people are bad, right? Like I think that you're actually questioning some of these limiting beliefs, and you're saying like, hey, I call BS on that, because like that's not the reality. That's not the reality that I'm creating, right? So I wonder if some of you here feel like you may have been a people pleaser who undercharged, or maybe some of you here worked for free, or you feel guilty in investing in yourself. This is the card that urges you to release guilt and shame and survival patterns, especially the ones that are passed down through family or culture. So pile 1, I feel like a really important action step to take here is to allow yourself to release in some way, right? Cry, journal, rage if needed, right? Because this is the emotional shedding that's going to allow your wealth to re-enter. Now let's dive deeper into why you've always felt different, right? What sets your energy apart? We have the Queen of Stones here. This is the Queen of Pentacles. This can talk about nurturing wealth. It can talk about resourcefulness. It can talk about domestic alchemy, right? So pile 1, I feel like you carry a rare combination of this earthy practicality and this deep emotional wisdom. You're somebody who can grow abundance like a garden, right? Slowly and steadily and from the heart. Pile 1, you are different because you don't just want money, you want to nurture people, right? You want to nurture homes and health and future generations. Pile 1, maybe you're the person who bakes cookies and budgets, right? Like you see sacred in the everyday. Maybe some of you here might enjoy creating a peaceful home environment, or managing the household finances, or growing food, and people trust you with their well-being, is what I'm hearing. So Pile 1, you have a beautiful gift. I feel like you embody sustainable wealth. Your presence is so calming and grounding and healing, and you can create empires out of everyday ingredients, is what I'm hearing, right? Like literal or metaphorical. We also have boundaries. This one says eclipse. So I feel like you have some sort of like hidden strength or sacred protection around you, or maybe you're looking for like energetic sovereignty, right? Like maybe you're somebody who like absorbs the energy of others, and maybe you feel like you've always been an empath, or you're very empathetic, but then you're also very exhausted too. Maybe you feel different because you're highly sensitive to what's not aligned, even if others ignore it, right? So maybe some of you here might have said no to things that other people agreed to, like toxic workplaces, or fast money schemes, or family obligations that drain you. I feel like you sense when something is off, and you were born to protect your energy like gold, right? Like a treasure. Your ability to say enough, or like not enough, or not anymore, is a wealth frequency. So protecting things like your time and your energy and your peace is how your true path is going to open up for you, Pile 1. So let's dive deeper, right? Let's dive deeper into your path to wealth activation. What sort of abundance are you meant to create, Pile 1? And let's dive into any strengths or gifts that maybe you've been underestimating. We have the Hierophant in reverse here. This one says Redwood National State Parks. I feel like some of you here could be drawn to like spiritual entrepreneurship, or breaking tradition, right? Following like a soul-led path. Pile 1, I feel like, again, you're not here to follow the rule book. You're here to rewrite it. I feel like traditional paths like climbing corporate ladders or following generational scripts may have always felt like confining to you. And so I feel like you're meant to teach, guide, build something non-traditional, right? Whether this is like a brand or a business or an offering or a message that feels a little unorthodox, but it's spiritually aligned. Like maybe you left a 9-to-5 to start a YouTube channel or a podcast or some sort of intuitive practice, or homeschool your kids in a way that honors, you know, emotional and financial freedom. Maybe some of you here feel like you're the black sheep among like more conventional people, but that's the key to your wealth, Pile 1. Like, don't forget it, okay? So the underestimated gift here I'm feeling is like your inner knowing. Your path doesn't need any sort of external validation. You're somebody who can channel wisdom directly. And so I keep feeling the strong urge to remind you that you do not need permission to lead. You do not need permission to change your mind, or, you know, like pivot in your career or the way that you earn or your life or whatever it is. You're allowed to choose differently. We also have a wolf. This one says earth. So to me, this represents wisdom and instincts and leadership and things like loyalty. Again, Pile 1, you were born to lead, and not for status, but like for sacred survival. So maybe some of you here think of yourself as more of a lone wolf. Sorry, I'm like laughing because that reminds me of The Hangover. I can't remember, what did he say? He was like, there was that one dude that was like, yeah, like I consider myself, you know, a lone wolf. And I just thought that part was hilarious because I can resonate with that so much. And I think that many of you here, you know, too. I think that many of you here can too. But, you know, anyway, in truth, I feel like your intuitive leadership and this earth-based wisdom can guide others to things like abundance and safety. Maybe you're the one in your community or your family who sees through illusions and offers practical, soulful guidance, right? You know how to blend survival with soul, you know how to make a dollar stretch, and you know how to still honor beauty and truth. You're somebody who's a natural guide, a protector, a teacher, and I feel like your instincts, more often than not, they're right, Pile 1? So I feel, again, urged to tell you to like follow your intuition, don't second guess what's coming up for you, okay? Now, let's talk about any sort of blocks or myths to release. Let's talk about any sort of programming that maybe you've inherited that is keeping you small. So we have the 4 of Vessels here. This is the 4 of Cups. So this can represent apathy or being distracted or missed divine nudges. right? So this is the card that comes up when you've like inherited the belief that you must wait to be chosen, or that real abundance is out of reach. Maybe you've seen caregivers who settled, right? Like ignored their gifts or stayed safe in their misery. I feel like you might be feeling like uninspired or tired or numb. And not because you don't have dreams, but because you've been trained to dismiss your own desires or wait for the right time, right? So maybe some of you here feel like you might self-sabotage by not applying, or maybe not speaking up, or, you know, not investing in yourself. So I think that the myth to release here is like, this is just the way life is. Like, no, it's not. Like, you can actually create whatever life it is that you want to create. Like, I remember when I felt stuck in my old 9-to-5, and I just felt like, well, like, this is the prescribed path. I've only seen, you know, my family members work 9-to-5s, and like, that I'm miserable, but oh well, maybe everybody else is too. And it's like, one day I just could not do it anymore. Like, in my body, it was such a visceral feeling of like, I am not supposed to be here. I don't know if you ever get that feeling, pile one, like when you're in the wrong place and you like finally wake up to it and you're like, oh my God, what am I doing here? I am not supposed to be here, right? Or I'm not supposed to be around these people, or this is draining me. I'm so done, right? It's like that feeling of just being sick and tired, over it, and done. So pile one, I feel like life has been trying to give you more, and so it's time for you to start saying yes to yourself specifically and your desires. We also have earth. This one says peace and grounding. I love that we have double earth. I don't know if some of you here are earth signs, or maybe that's just kind of the energy at play here. Or maybe some of you have significant earth placements in your birth chart. But yeah, to me, this represents things like slow wealth, things like your nervous system, right? Especially your nervous system feeling safe. I also feel like this is like you coming home to yourself. So pile one, maybe you've inherited patterns of like being hyper vigilant, right? Always hustling, fixing, doing. The earth card reminds you that you don't have to chase abundance. You just become it by rooting into your body and your values and your pace. So maybe some of you here feel guilty for resting, or you feel uncomfortable with stillness, or maybe you're afraid that slowing down equals failure. But in truth, pile one, your magic is going to come online when you're calm, when you're connected to nature, and when you're centered in your body. So I feel like the new program here for you is that you are safe and you're grounded and you're worthy, and that your peace is profitable as well. So overall, pile one, why were you born to be wealthy? I feel like you came here with deep emotional intelligence. You have this very earthy spiritual wisdom, and maybe some of you here feel like this soul level resistance to like normal or traditional systems of money or earning. Maybe you felt different because you are, but in the best way possible, and that difference is your treasure. I feel like you were never meant to be a cog in the system, and you are the blueprint for a new kind of wealth, right? One that is nurturing, one that is intuitive, and one that is very much grounded and spiritually led. Pile one, let's roll some astro dice. Let's find out more about why you were born to be wealthy. So we have Mars in Cancer in the 5th house. So pile one, you are meant to be wealthy by, again, like nurturing your creativity, your family, your passions, and doing this with like emotional drive and persistence. I feel like Mars, it represents your drive and your ambition. And when it's in Cancer, it's emotional and it's protective. And when we're talking about the 5th house, this is all about creativity, children, fun, risk-taking, right? So you take this bold emotional action in areas that bring joy and meaning, especially as it has to do with family or like creative self-expression. If you want to learn more about the 5th house, I have a podcast episode that I made on this topic. I have like a bunch of episodes on the easy way to understand the planets in astrology and your birth chart. So check that out in the description if you feel called. It's called the That Steep podcast. But yes, let's just talk about a couple different examples here. So again, I'm really feeling very strongly for you a path in creative entrepreneurship, whether this is YouTube or art or writing or some sort of home-based business that's tied to motherhood or like parenthood or lifestyle. I think that you would do so well here. I also think that many of you here would do really well in working with children or like working with families, maybe like creating homeschool content or, coaching parents, right? Doing parenting coaching. Maybe some of you here want to like sell real estate. Maybe you want to help families get into proper homes, right? Or creative spaces. I think that this is you like building wealth through passion projects. Something that you like fiercely protect and nurture. For example, like building a brand around motherhood or creativity or emotional healing. I feel like you're wealthy when you lead from the heart and when you combine protective instinct with creative courage. Thank you so much, Pile 1. I hope that this video was super fun. If it resonates, please give it a like. Comment below with what pile you chose or with what came up for you. I love to connect with you all in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. I would absolutely love to have you here, and share this with someone in need of encouragement today. Please take care of yourself. If you love pick a card readings on money, wealth, finances, and your future life, I do have playlists dedicated to these topics. Check out my channel, Title Tarot. I'll see you there. Sending you so much love. Bye, friends. Love y'all. Hey, Pile 3. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading. Let's talk about why you were born to be wealthy. Let's talk about why you were born with this unique relationship to money. So we have the King of Blades in reverse here. This is the King of Swords in reverse here. This can talk about breaking the tyranny of logic, or reclaiming your emotional and intuitive power. Pile 3, you were born with like this built-in rebellion against rigid systems, and especially those that worship intellect over emotion, right? Or productivity over people, or cold logic over things like lived truth. So maybe some of you here grew up around emotionally detached parents or like authority figures, or maybe you've been gaslit by people who have claimed to know what's best for you. Right? So this is a signal of like revolution for you. You were born to question authority and defy rational limitations around wealth, and really create this new way of thinking about abundance, one where heart and instinct matter more than rules and structure. So maybe some of you here have been told that money is only for practical people, or that creative or intuitive paths aren't sustainable. But you know deep down, you know that there was another way, your way. Maybe some of you here have struggled to kind of fit into the traditional framework of school or corporate systems that reward this detachment, but maybe you feel like you thrived when you followed your passion or your inner voice. So Pile 3, you are here to dismantle the old mental scripts around money and really prove that emotional intelligence and intuition and even spirituality can generate real wealth. We also have Blood Moon. This one says courage. I wonder if some of you have been trying to find the bravery to become your truest self, no matter who it threatens, because I feel like the Blood Moon amplifies the King of Swords reversed. You were born to break taboos. You were born to disrupt logic and follow your own truth, especially as it has to do around money and success. Pile 3, you are here to be seen in your truth, even when it feels uncomfortable. Maybe you feel called to say what no one else is saying, or to lead from the heart in a world that just rewards cold strategy. So, for example, maybe some of you here are choosing to leave a stable job for your mental health, right? Or you're starting a business in a taboo field, right? Like, could be tarot and astrology, right? Or it could be, you know, sex education or energy work or spiritual coaching, right? Something that other people may not always be comfortable with addressing or talking about. I wonder if some of you here are feeling like I feel like there's a select some of you here who are choosing motherhood and entrepreneurship even when the world says to pick one, right? Like you're allowing yourself to see that you can do both. So I think the gift here is that you have the courage to say, no, I'm going to do things differently, and this is the key to your wealth. Pile 3. So let's talk about why you've always felt different and what sets your energy apart. So we have the Four of Sticks here. This is the Four of Wands. I love this scene. So to me, you are a joy bringer, you are a soul community builder, and I feel like you know how to create a sacred space, right? It comes naturally to you. I think that you radiate a vibe of homecoming and things like celebration and belonging. I can totally tell that like other people naturally feel at ease or energized in your presence because you carry this unspoken message of like, you belong, you know, you're safe, let's celebrate. So I definitely think that you've always felt different because you value connection and meaning over things like competition or achievement. So I think that you're a weaver of joy and sacred moments. I think that you're somebody who naturally creates community, even if you're an introvert. So maybe you might be the friend who organizes gatherings or hosts retreats or circles or builds online communities. I feel like your wealth isn't meant to be solo. You are meant to create something that other people can thrive within. So you make people feel like they've come home, pile 3. I feel that you have this emotional richness that draws financial abundance. We also have synergy. This one says Sulis. This represents this sacred balance between giving and receiving, between flow and structure. So Sulis is a Celtic healing goddess, and this goddess symbolizes synergistic energy, right? Where light and warmth can nourish growth. So I feel like your magic lies in weaving energies together, pile 3, maybe like healing and structure, or fire and water, or pleasure and purpose, right? You're different because you intuitively harmonize opposing forces, which makes you this natural alchemist. Maybe you're the entrepreneur who combines spreadsheets and spell work, or the creative who builds systems behind the scenes. You know how to hold dualities, right? Maybe like rest and ambition, or faith and strategy. And I think that this balance is magnetic. So what is your path to wealth activation? What kind of abundance are you meant to create? Are there any sort of strengths or gifts that you've been underestimating? We have Temperance in reverse here, and this one says Zion National Park. To me, this is like soul healing through imbalance or like divine disruption. So Temperance in the reverse position shows that your path to wealth isn't about playing it safe. It's about embracing extremes and learning through trial and error and creating a unique blend that only works for you. I think that you might be underestimating how powerful your past experiences with like imbalance has been shaping your unique path, right? Like if you feel like you've had a past where you struggled with chaos or addiction or burnout or extremes, just know that these weren't failures. Those were more of an initiation, right? So maybe you've swung between working too much and burnout, or giving too much and then retreating entirely. I totally know how that feels. And I feel like these imbalances, like they taught you what doesn't work, right? And now you're positioned to help others navigate very similar journeys. So you are meant to build a new kind of rhythm, right? One that's rooted in intuitive timing and not hustle culture. So we have Firefly. This one says fire. So with this, I feel like there's some sort of like momentary brilliance that lights the way for others that's going to come through for you. So you have moments of divine brilliance, pile 3. Maybe you get downloads or flashes of insight, maybe moments of wild inspiration, but I feel like you could be like dismissing them because maybe they're not always easy to explain, right? Or maybe you feel like other people won't believe you, right? So I feel like you are here to create inspired wealth and ideas that light other people up, even if they seem small at first. So maybe some of you here get intuitive nudges to create something, a reel or an offer or a poem or a course, and if you act on them, they spark joy and income and recognition. So I think that your genius isn't in long hours, but it's in those short bursts of magic. I feel like the gift that you're underestimating here is divine timing, inner brilliance, inspired creation. You're not meant to work hard, pile 3. I feel like you're meant to create brightly and be very strategic with it. So let's talk about any sort of blocks or myths to release. Let's talk about any sort of programming that you've inherited that keeps you small. We have the 6 of Blades in reverse here. And so this to me, it kind of represents like emotional baggage or fear of the unknown or resisting necessary change and transitions. So this is the card that maybe shows that the programming that you've inherited is maybe like around the idea that you should stay safe and in the same situation that you're in. So I feel like the inherited programming is around staying where it's safe even when it feels stagnant. So maybe you may have been taught to endure things, right, and not evolve. So maybe some of you here feel like you struggle with emotional attachments to old identities, right? Like maybe being the healer or the martyr or the overachiever. Or maybe some of you here have had beliefs like don't rock the boat, or don't leave others behind, or you can't trust change. Maybe some of you here have delayed leaving a job or a relationship or a role that's long past its expiration, because what if the unknown is worse? But I feel like in doing so, it like allows us to like ignore the pull of expansion. So the myth to release here, pile 3, is the whole like, if I move on, I'll lose something. You won't. When we let go of the things that are holding us back or dragging us down or draining us, we show up in a different light. So I feel like the truth here is what's meant for you will expand as you move toward it. We also have summer. This one says expansion, growth. There's like a new dawn. Like I keep hearing that. I don't know if you guys, I keep hearing this one song. I think it's called A New Day Has Come by Celine Dion. For all my 90s babies, you guys probably remember that song. But for those of you who aren't familiar with that song, go check it out. I feel like she kind of talks about how she was like waiting in the beginning. A new day has come. And anyway, there might be a message for you in those lyrics, but I feel like there's some sort of like better life on the other side, or like better brightness on the horizon is what I keep hearing. Pile 3, you are allowed to bloom even when other people aren't ready for that, right? Just because other people aren't ready for expansion doesn't mean that you need to hold yourself back from it. So this card reminds you that you're not too much, and your growth does not have to be delayed out of loyalty. I feel like you've been taught to dim your light so others wouldn't feel insecure, or to keep success small so that other people wouldn't feel left behind. I know that like sometimes we do that with our parents, right? Like if you're in like a narcissistic like parent-child relationship, right? Like maybe you're an adult child of like a narcissistic parent, or like somebody who's very codependent, or just very King of Swords in reverse here. Like I actually, let's do a little book divination from this new book that I got. This is Kitchen Table Tarot. And with this one, it's very like cheeky, like sassy little descriptions of the cards. And so I like what it says about things. It's really quick too. So let's finger, oh my God. I wonder if somebody points the blame at you. I wonder if someone's always like, you did this and you did that, and they're just like a total psycho, right? I feel like we need to get away from that energy. So let's look for the King of Swords, but in reverse. Okay, so it says, you can always tell when someone is a true leader. When a true leader speaks, his people don't wince. The inverted King of Swords is terrifying, manipulative, sinister, and abusive. So you might be dealing with somebody here who's like that, whether it's like a person that you're in a relationship with, a family member, somebody at work, a boss, a coworker, a friend, right? I just feel like this path to wealth, this path to earning more financially or to receiving more financially, it's not just like something that you're doing just for fun. This is like your key to freedom is what I keep hearing. Like that's how important this is. So yeah, if any of you here are still, you know, shrinking your prices or downplaying your ideas or delaying things to avoid triggering others, just know that it's time to like hit, you know, pedal to the metal. If any of you here are familiar with the Modern Witch Tarot deck, I think was it the Chariot? Or it's like one of the cards where it talks about like somebody riding their motorcycle in the desert and they're just going for it. Like that's what I see in my head. So I feel like it's time for you to like go. Choose yourself, right? Like objectively. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I got a reading once upon a time with a tarot reader and a medium, and I kept asking like, hey, I really want to leave this job that I'm working in, right? Like this standard job that I'm working in, to follow my creative path. I really want to be able to create and have a business like come through that as well, and to earn from it, and to be able to work from home, and to be able to like use my intuition. And that's why my YouTube channel is here today, right? It provides so much for me. I love to be of service to you all, and I just feel like it's a great place. It's a great community as well, for us to be able to be ourselves. So yeah, I just feel like the message here is that it's safe to grow faster. It's safe to like grow brighter and be freer than other people expect, right? Some people might not get it. Like some of you here may want to be like working on social media or be an influencer, be a content creator. And maybe you have family members that tell you that that's not practical or that's not realistic. And, you know, maybe some of you here are making good money at whatever job you're already working at, but you don't enjoy it, right? Or you want to follow your creative path and earn through that instead. And so this is your call. This is your reminder, pile 3, to follow your heart. Trust yourself, okay? Each part of the path is going to be illuminated for you as you take each step. So let's roll some astro dice. Let's find out why you were born to be wealthy. Okay. So we have Mercury in Scorpio in the 11th house. You're meant to be wealthy because your mind is sharp, it's strategic, it's very intuitive. You are somebody who knows how to see beneath the surface and communicate with power. You attract wealth through networks and community and through online platforms like I was speaking about earlier. So the 11th house here, this favors, you know, earning an income online through digital things, through collaborations, and through social influence. And Scorpio energy is very transformative and it's very magnetic. So I definitely think that you can profit from deep topics like money and healing and taboo and psychology and really turn that knowledge into power. So pile 3, remember to speak your truth, build community, and really monetize your insights because that is your wealth code. So yes, thank you so much, pile 2. Seriously, you were born with a brilliant intuitive mind meant to defy this cold logic and to really lead from the heart. Your wealth path is going to involve building community, creativity, right? Healing through courageous choices that other people fear. Your most underestimated gifts are your inner fire and those flashes of inspiration, and your ability to blend what others think is incompatible, right? Emotion and strategy, celebration and creation, freedom and discipline. So pile 3, remember, you're not here to earn like others. You are here to light up the dark and to get paid for it. So thank you so much, pile 2. I hope that this was fun. Please give this video a like if it resonates. Please comment below with what pile you chose. I love to connect with you all in the comments. And subscribe if you have not already. I would love to have you here. If you love pick a card readings on money, wealth, finances, and your future life, please check out my channel, Title Tarot. I've got playlists dedicated to this specifically. I'll see you there. Sending you so much love. Bye, friends. Love y'all. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out why you were born to be wealthy and why you were born with this unique relationship to money. This is the King of Pentacles in reverse. So I wonder if some of you here are going to be like rewriting the rules of success from survival to soul. Maybe you were born in a world that valued control and status and security, but your spirit came here to break that mold. So maybe some of you here have grown up in an environment where money was hoarded or overly controlled or equated with worthiness or used as a power play. So you're here to redefine wealth and to show people that real abundance comes not from status or control, but from authentic expression and emotional intelligence and healing ancestral fear. So maybe your family taught you to stay small or to keep your head down or to work a safe job to survive. But your soul has always wanted more freedom and creativity and heart-led income. I feel like you were born to show others that you don't have to become hardened to become wealthy. You can still be soft and successful and sensitive and sovereign. We also have Howl at the Moon. This one says process your feelings. So your emotional truth is your gold mine. You're wealthy when you're emotionally honest. And maybe some of you here feel like you've inherited emotional suppression, right? Like, don't cry, don't make a scene. Maybe you've been told to get over it, right? But your power lies in processing what other people bury. Your emotional journey is your activation path. And so your wealth is going to come when you honor your feelings, when you validate your inner child, when you tell the truth, even if your voice shakes. Maybe your greatest abundance started arriving when you finally let yourself grieve or rage or cry, or when you shared your story vulnerably online or with a client and they saw themselves in you. So you are meant to feel deeply and to profit from emotional truth. Let's talk about why you've always felt different, what sets your energy apart. We have the Eight of Blades, and so this is the Eight of Swords. This can represent things like feeling trapped, right? Feeling like you are limited in some way, feeling like you're full of doubt, right? So with the Suit of Swords, this talks about the element of air and the mind and communication and the thoughts, right? So this can be like mental entrapment, right? Or self-imposed limitation or inherited doubt. I feel like you've always been different because you can see the invisible prisons that people live in, right? And I feel like you're painfully aware of your own. And so maybe you've been gaslit or emotionally invalidated early in your life, and it made you question your power or your voice. So I feel like you came here with the sensitivity to detect the mental programming that holds people back. That awareness, although painful, is your soul skill. So maybe you find that like you wake up from patterns that other people stay stuck in, right? Toxic jobs or guilt-based relationships or generational scarcity. And your awareness of being trapped is the first sign that you're meant to break free and to lead others out. So you're not broken, you're a mirror, pile 3. You see where freedom is needed before anyone else does. We also have rainbow reflection. I love that. I love that this comes on the heels of what we just spoke about. And what a gorgeous card. I feel like your energy is just so beautiful. It's so light. I feel like wherever you've been stuck, or like whoever has been keeping you stuck, although nobody can really keep us stuck if we're adults, like we can fully make our own decisions and those kinds of things. I know it can be tricky, but sometimes we have to remind our inner child that like you're an adult, right? We're adults here and we can actually change, or we can say no to things, or we don't have to listen to the opinions of others or parents or whatever it is, right? So again, your sensitivity is your strength. I feel like your gift is this sacred self-awareness. I feel like you're always reflecting, digesting, and intuitively picking up what's not being said in the room. You feel different because you don't just react, you deeply reflect, and that makes you wiser than you know. You're a natural space holder, a teacher. Like I feel like you're an emotional translator of some sort. So this is my pal that's probably been told that they're too sensitive, but in truth, you're a mirror for healing. And others feel seen in your presence because you reflect both their pain and their possibility. So your path to wealth activation, right? What sort of abundance are you meant to create? And are there any gifts or strengths that you've been underestimating? This one is the Five of Swords reversed. There's a bit of like a cleanup day going on in the background here. This card can represent making peace or transcending ego battles or modeling healthy conflict. So your path to wealth is paved by your ability to break cycles of manipulation or power struggles or mental combat. I feel like you're a healer of conflict, and not through avoidance, but through courageous truth-telling and emotional intelligence. Pile 3, you may underestimate how powerful your ability is to hold space for resolution, because to you, peace and honesty are just as natural. I feel like while they're rare, they're incredibly valuable in business and leadership and relationships. So maybe you're the one who can mediate disputes or lead with empathy or end toxic cycles in your lineage. Your audience or clients will pay you not just for information, but for clarity and for the peace that your energy brings. We also have Hawk, fire. You naturally have this visionary insight. I feel like you're a soul messenger. You have this piercing perception. So you are meant to create abundance through your insight, through your foresight, through soul communication. I feel like you receive divine downloads and you have the ability to see big picture patterns, even when others are stuck in the weeds. So you may be underestimating your intuition or your perception or your spiritual sight, but I feel like these things are the core to your wealth path, pile 3. So maybe some of you here are drawn to guiding others, whether this is through coachings or readings like these or through writing. Maybe you see opportunities where other people see dead ends. So people pay attention when you speak because you speak truth. Pile 3, you're not here to follow trends. You're here to deliver messages that changes lives. Let's talk about any sort of blocks or myths to release. Let's talk about any sort of programming that you might have inherited that's keeping you small. So we have the Two of Blades in reverse. This is the Two of Swords in reverse. So it can talk about indecision. It can talk about avoidance, like blocked intuition. So Maybe some of you here feel like you've inherited the myth that not deciding is safer than choosing wrong, right? So maybe some of you here feel like you're stuck in some sort of like mental loop, or you feel like you're not able to move forward confidently in some way. So maybe the programming sounds like, I don't know what to do, or if I wait long enough, the answer will come, or I'm afraid of making the wrong choice. But I feel like this indecision feels like it could be costing you, right? Like maybe it feels like it's costing you more than just a wrong step ever could. Maybe some of you here have been delaying launching or switching careers, right? Leaving that job that is just draining and sucking your soul. Or maybe some of you here are staying in jobs, right? Again, or relationships that really drain you because you're waiting for that clarity that only action could bring you. So the myth to release here is that it's not safe to decide. The truth here is that you making a decision is going to create momentum. You're safe to choose, you're safe to pivot, and you're safe to choose again. We also have spring. This one says rebuilding, awakening, and truth. So for you, pile 3, it is safe to begin again. This card reminds you that you're not behind, you're right on time. Even if you felt frozen in the past, your life is entering a phase of awakening and rebuilding. It's time for you to let go of the myth that your best shot is behind you, or that you're starting too late. You know, every choice that you make now is watering the roots of soul-aligned abundance. So maybe some of you here are launching something new, or starting over financially, or awakening to your own power after years of hiding. Don't minimize it, it's sacred, and your new season is blooming. You were born to be wealthy because you were born with a deep emotional sensitivity and a very powerful mind that sees where people are trapped, right? And you know how to set them free. So your wealth is going to lie in your capacity to reflect and to feel and to decide and to guide with truth. You are here to transform inherited programming around control and shame and indecision. You are here to create wealth through things like clarity and vision and emotional healing. I feel like you're here to inspire other people to see what's possible when they break free from their own limitations, right? You're not meant to fit in, and that is absolutely okay. You are meant to wake up and choose yourself and really light the way for others. So let's find out more about why you were born to be wealthy. We have the South Node in Capricorn in the 5th house. So pile 3, you were meant to be wealthy because you've mastered discipline and strategic self-expression and creative leadership in past lives. I feel like you likely have some sort of like karmic gift for turning your creativity or performance or entrepreneurial energy into tangible results. I feel like this is through things like hard work or structure or ambition. So I feel like your wealth is going to flow when you balance work and play, when you allow joy and spontaneity to support your material success. So thank you so much, pile 3. I hope that this video was fun. I hope that it resonates. Please give it a like if it does. Comment below with what pile you chose. I love to connect with you all in the comments. Share this with someone in need of encouragement today, and subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you here. Please take care of yourself. I hope to see you on the next video after this. Check out my channel, Tidal Tarot, if you love pick a card readings on money, finance, and your future life. I love empowering women, mothers, creatives, intuitives, and just anyone who is looking for more freedom and more choice in their lives. So thank you so much. Please take care of yourself. I'll see you on the next video, and I'm sending you so much love. Bye, pile 3. Love y'all. Hey, pile 4. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading. Let's talk about why you were born to be wealthy. Let's talk about why you were born with this unique relationship to money. So we have the World, and this is Glacier National Park. So with this, I feel like it represents completion, mastery, wholeness, things like purpose, things like cosmic reward. So pile 4, you were born to be wealthy because your soul came into this lifetime with the intent to complete a karmic cycle. Not to begin from scratch, but to reap the rewards from lifetimes of growth and service. So wealth for you is tied to purpose and alignment, not just profit. So pile 4, you're someone who naturally seeks meaning over money, but I feel like money follows you when you're aligned. I feel like you might complete things other people avoid, like healing family trauma, or building ethical businesses. I feel like you could feel a deep, almost ancient sense of a mission here. So the message that I'm getting here is that you're not new to this. You came here with the soul tools and the wisdom. So wealth is a natural byproduct of just fulfilling your purpose, Pile 4. We also have moon mastery, law of attraction. So this is like magnetic creation, energetic sensitivity, things like emotional alchemy. You were born to be wealthy because you have a deep understanding of energy and emotion and timing. Maybe you feel your environment very deeply, or you pick up on other people's moods, or even sense outcomes before they even happen, right? You intuitively know when to make a move, whether it's in business or investments or in relationships. I think that when you feel good, abundance flows, and when things feel off, everything stalls and your emotions are your compass. So I feel like you've either studied or lived law of attraction principles. Maybe you've done vision boards or scripting or moon rituals long before it was trendy, you know? And so wealth is drawn to you when you vibrate in your truth. You don't have to chase it, right? It comes to the emotional version of you that already has it. So let's talk about why you've always felt different and what sets your energy apart. We have the 4 of stones here, and so this is the 4 of pentacles. So this could represent like self-protection, maybe control, or like scarcity beliefs or guarded energy. Maybe you've always felt different because of your unique relationship with control and safety. Like maybe some of you here are holding back your time or your energy or your love until you feel secure, right? Maybe you mistake self-preservation for self-worth. Maybe some of you here feel like you're resisting spending money, even when you have it, right? Like maybe some of you here are afraid of not having enough. Maybe some of you here might not share your true self unless you deeply trust someone. Maybe other people feel like you're too private, right? But it's your safety strategy. So Pile 4, you feel different because you intuitively know that not all wealth is material and that energetic preservation is real power. We also have truth. This one says Aya. So this is things like authenticity, integrity, the courage to see clearly, right? You've always felt different because you can't lie to yourself or others. Even if you like try to play the game, it just doesn't feel right to you, and you're wired for truth over performance. And I think that that makes you both very magnetic and rare. So some real life examples here. Maybe you struggle in environments that reward faking it, even if it's profitable. Maybe you've lost jobs or relationships by speaking the truth, but then you found better alignment after. Maybe some of you here sense when things are out of alignment and it exhausts you. So Pile 4, you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to raise the standard by just being real with yourself and living your own authentic truth. Now let's talk about your path to wealth activation. What kind of abundance are you meant to create? And are there any strengths or gifts that you've been underestimating? We have the 6 of Sticks here. This is the 6 of Wands in reverse. So maybe some of you here are dealing with a fear of success or hiding your light or imposter syndrome. Pile 4, you are meant to be recognized and celebrated, but maybe you are having a hard time fully stepping into the spotlight. Maybe there's like a hesitation to shine or a fear of being too much or feeling discomfort with praise. I've definitely been through that before, and it can be tough, right? Like not to downplay accomplishments in public, even if they're incredible. Or it can be tough, like not to procrastinate launching that course or website or business, even if it's ready, right? Maybe like you fear envy or judgment if you become too successful, right? I feel like you can feel people's energy very, very well too. Like you can feel when people are jealous or like sending you the evil eye or like sending bad energy your way. And so really the message here is that your wealth is going to multiply when you own your own brilliance, Pile 4. It's not ego, it's leadership, and you were meant for it. So we also have Rooster. This one says, we have Rooster. This one says Fire. So this is you being bold. This is you having this vocal leadership. Maybe this is you getting clarity in the mornings or like being really like, that's your power time, right? This is you having confidence. right? The rooster wakes the world up with confidence, and so you're meant to do the same. This is the card that is calling forth your voice, your presence, your fire, pile 4. Even if you feel shy, your soul is wired for visibility and for influence. You feel more alive when you're teaching or leading or guiding others. Maybe some of you here are really vibing like early mornings, right? Some of you may not. Some of you may be like, I love my beauty rest. Like, I've been very much diving into my beauty rest, but I do love a good morning where I can like have a moment to myself before the whole house wakes up. And I'm very energetically sensitive, and so I need that quiet time to myself in the morning. For some of you here, your energy is very sharp and inspired at dawn. And so I really do feel like you also inspire other people just by sharing your story openly. So pile 4, you were born to be heard, and the more that you speak and lead, the more that wealth is going to flow. So let's talk about any sort of blocks or myths to release. Let's talk about any sort of programming that you've inherited that's keeping you small. So we have the Magician in reverse here. This one says Waimea Canyon State Park. You know what's so interesting? When I was looking at this rooster picture, I was like, wow, is this Kauai? Because there are a ton of roosters on that island, right? In Hawaii. And then Waimea Canyon State Park is on the island of Kauai. So yeah, I wonder if some of you are drawn to that island or drawn to the Hawaiian Islands in some way. But okay, with the Magician in reverse here, blocks to release, right? Limiting beliefs to release. This represents things like self-doubt, over-planning, not feeling ready. So pile 4, I feel like you're forgetting your own power, right? Maybe you believe you need more tools or certifications or time before you start. But I really do feel like you already have everything you need to begin. I'm really strongly feeling like some of you here are delaying launching a project because you want it to be perfect, or you're comparing your beginning to somebody else's middle and you stop yourself there. I feel like many of you here have collected tons of knowledge, but maybe you're feeling scared to go ahead and like actually apply it. So remember, you are already the magician. It's time to act like it. Creation is going to happen through things like movement, not waiting. So we also have preserve. This one says security, forethought, and thrift. So I wonder if this is like inherited thrift or like better safe than sorry energy, right? Or fear of waste. Like maybe you grew up in a household or you come from a lineage where saving was safety. Or maybe like some people are like, I don't know if anyone grew up in like, I can see it like maybe some of you here grew up in like a household with like people who would like hoard and like hold on to like everything. Although preservation is important, right? Saving is very, very important, but sometimes this programming can hold you back from investing in your growth or trusting the flow or spending freely. So maybe some of you here hesitate to hire help or to invest in tools that could scale your income. Maybe you feel guilty after spending even when it is aligned and abundant. Maybe some of you here are staying in jobs or partnerships that feel secure even if they're draining, right? Maybe you're seeing this with like rose-colored glasses. So I feel like for you, the message here is that true security isn't going to come from holding yourself back, but it's coming from trusting that there's always more where that came from. So let's find out more from our Astro dice. Why was pile 4 meant to be wealthy? Okay, so we have Mars in Leo in the 8th house. You were meant to be wealthy because Mars is giving you like that drive and that courage and that ambition in shared resources or inheritance or transformation. And this Leo energy is bringing confidence and charisma and leadership. People are very much drawn to your magnetic presence, pile 4. And with the 8th house here, this is the house that rules other people's money, investments, things like business partnerships, and legacy wealth. If you're interested in learning more about the 8th house and learning more about your birth chart and astrology in an easy and simple way to understand, I have a podcast called the That's Deep Podcast, and I have it linked for you in the description if you feel called. But with these placements here, I feel like you are meant to boldly claim your power through joint ventures or strategic collaborations or transformative work, right? Possibly even in areas like finance or real estate or the occult or sexuality or healing, right? Wealth is going to come when you own your own brilliance and you fearlessly manage resources with passion and flair. So thank you so much, Pile 4. I hope that this reading was fun. Please give this video a like if it resonates. Please comment below with what pile you chose and with what came up for you. I love to chat with you all in the comments, and subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you here. Share this with someone in need of encouragement today. And if you love pick a card readings on money, finances, your future self, and empowering yourself with more freedom and options and autonomy and choice, please check out my channel, Title Tarot. I've got playlists dedicated to these topics. And yes, I'm wishing you a fabulous day ahead. And yes, I'll see you on the next video. Sending you lots of love. Bye, Pile 4. Love y'all.